So what is a literature review? In this video, in just a few minutes, you're going to understand what a literature review is and how to do a literature review. Please stay tuned. Dr. Ayub here from Smart Research and Data Analytics, SRDA. In today's video, I'm going to teach you how to do an academic and successful literature review. Stay till the end of the video because I'm going to mention a fact that is very important for you. Stay tuned. Let's see, what is a literature review? Do I do it to gain knowledge? To do further research? To establish a basis of conceptual model? To establish a basis of theoretical model, or to find gaps in the literature? Okay, let us see. Literature review. First of all, let me give you a very brief example. If you want to go and buy anything, you just do your homework. You find what's there in the market, the prices, which product is better, etc., etc. Same in the literature review. When you have a specific research, any research, let's say, for instance, the impact of social media on teenagers' behavior. Okay, so first of all, my professor would say, okay, I have to do a literature review. Why is a literature review? Because you have to know first what has been done before. Literature review first will help you gain knowledge about the subject. You will gain knowledge about the impact of social media on teenagers' behavior. You will see what other academics have done before. You will check the books. You will check the literature. You will check prior researches, prior dissertations, prior thesis work to know what has been done. Okay? So you research the current knowledge. You gain further knowledge. You research what has been done. Okay? And if you are doing a PhD dissertation or a thesis, you establish a conceptual model, okay, or a theoretical model. And the most important here is you find gaps in the literature. You have to show that your study is original and it hasn't been done before. Okay, it hasn't been, your research question hasn't been well established before. So you show a gap in the literature. All right. Okay. So these are the reasons why we do a literature review. We have to go into the literature and search and see what has been done before in order to have a starting point, because we cannot go research something if we don't know what has been done before in the history, in its history about it. Okay. And it's like doing your homework. If you want to buy anything, okay, you want to buy a phone, you want to buy a necklace, for instance, okay, you have to go and do your research in the market. You have to do your homework. You have to understand everything. Okay, the same way as we do research. Okay, if we want to do any research, we have to go first to the literature and check, okay, what has been done before. Okay, so this is a purpose or the reasons why we do a literature review. Okay, literature reviews might come as a standalone assignment. Okay, a student, university student, college student may have been assigned to do a literature review for any course, or it may be just a part of a larger assignment, like a part of a PhD dissertation, a part of a master thesis. Okay, so these are the reasons why we do a literature review. Okay, let us see now the steps that are involved in conducting a literature review. These are really very important, okay? Nice, we have progressed. Part 1 of this video showed you what a literature review is and the importance of a literature review. In part 2 of this video, I'm going to show you the steps involved in conducting a literature review. Please stay tuned. Good, let's move next. Steps in a literature review. 4 steps I have organized in a literature review: search, organize, structure, and write. So, to write a good literature review, a good and an academic literature review, you need to follow 4 steps. The first step is research. Okay, research where? Google Scholar is one. Any academic databases, EBSCOhost, ProQuest, any sort of academic database that may be relevant to your field of study. Okay, you can access all of those through your university library. Okay, so I do search. You can use Boolean operators. You can use specific key terms. We'll come to an example where I'll apply all these details for you. Okay, so we do our research. Why do we do the research? We do research to find answers to questions, trends, and patterns in the literature relevant to my study. For instance, if we take the impact of social media on teenagers' behaviors, we try to find answers to our research questions. We try to find the trends and patterns. We try to find contrasts and debates, common or recurrent themes, and very important, we try to find gaps in the literature, because I have to provide a literature or a study that is unique and original at the end. I don't want to repeat someone else's job. Okay, I want to do my own original and generic task. Okay, so I did my research. I have to narrow down my research into research questions or go into a niche. Why? Because I have to find the most relevant literature, the most manageable literature. If I go in a broad topic, I might find thousands and thousands, even millions of articles and books, etc., etc. It would be very hard, but even rather impossible for me to categorize and organize. Okay, so what I have to do is to go into narrow down my research into specific research questions or go into a niche. Okay, I found some articles that's nice or books. I read the abstract, the conclusion, and the references. Make sure it's relevant. Okay, if everything is relevant through these, if not, maybe I'll go into their topics and subtopics and read them to know that this article or this book is relevant to my research or not. Okay, if everything is good, then we go into step 2. Okay, I found the articles, I found the books, everything now is good. In step 1, I go into the organization step. Okay, I usually tend to use a cataloging library like Mendeley, like Zotero, like EndNote, or you may use your own spreadsheet or worksheet, okay? Just to establish a kind of a library to organize the data or the literature that you have found by establishing logs and catalogs. Okay, once we come to the example, I'll show you how. Okay, please stay with me till the end of the video, because at the end of this video I'll be mentioning a very important tip while conducting a literature review. Okay, then I'm good with organizing. I did organize, I did categorize the data that I found, the literature that I found. I go into the structuring. Okay, how do I structure? I create an outline, I create sections and subsections, and I start kind of like structuring the literature that I have found in books, in articles, on Google Scholars, EBSCOhost, published thesis, dissertations, prior research that has been done, published or unpublished. I group all the literature that I have found and come to structure them now in this step. Integrative structure. I just critique the information. Okay, so simply I get the information that I found in the articles, in the books, and sort of critique them. Establish a thematic structure around a specific theme. For instance, impact of social media, let's say, for instance, on teenagers' psychological behavior, or let's say, schooling performance. This is a theme. Okay, I group all the literature that is relevant to this theme into one group. Okay, I may have a literature that needs me to structure by chronology. Okay, chronological order. Okay, I go by dates or methodological, going by methods, depending on the purpose of my literature review, or the theoretical, just comparing theories between one literature and the other, or one article or one finding in the literature and the other. Okay, so this is structuring my literature review. Okay, I finished this step. Okay, then I go into the last step in doing a literature review, and this is the writing step. Okay, how do I write? Here, one important tip in do not seek perfection. You are dealing with tons of information, with tons of literature, and seeking perfection here may be hard and may just leads to procrastination and not doing things fast, okay? Or you may even give up on a literature review. No, we don't need perfection. We need to start and we need to do the best we can, okay? So we write. How do we write? I found an article, I do my summaries. I order those summaries, okay? I combine the paragraphs as per themes, okay? I refine my paragraphs, add the transitions to create a flow, okay? Or add an introduction at the end and the conclusion, okay? And very important, I have to highlight gaps in the literature, okay? So now I have done my literature review. Okay, what's next? Great. Now we have understood what a literature review is, the purpose of a literature review, and we knew the 4 steps that we follow while conducting a literature review. We search, organize, structure, and write. Okay, now let's move to a live example, applying what we have seen so far in this video. Please stay tuned. Okay, first, we will do the search step. Okay, we go Google Scholar is one resource. Okay, as you notice here, Google Scholar. Okay, our topic of research is impact of social media on teenagers. Okay, as you notice here, we find many articles. As we look at the articles, it is important here to look for or see the citation count. The more you have as a citation count, the better. For instance, this resource or this article has been cited by 2,352 authors or writers, etc. Okay, so however, this one is cited only by 6. Okay, so simply here for more credibility and more reliability of the resource or the article, I would pick up those articles that are relevant and cited by the most number that I can. Okay, so impact of social media on teenagers. As you noticed here, I have found like 354,000 articles. Okay, so I need to refine my research further. I go using Boolean operators or words, keywords like impact of social media on teenagers. As you noticed here, I have found children, adolescents, families. No, I don't need that. I don't need the children. So simply impact of social media on teenagers. I can put the word not, okay, and then children, okay. Then here I will have a more refined research. As you noticed here, I have a more refined research. Simply here, I don't have any more children. Okay, so in this way, I am refining. See, I got only 30 results. Instead of having 354,000 results, I have only 30 results. Okay, which is really good here. Okay, so simply now, that's a case study cited by 2 persons. That's cited by only 1. Okay. I try to look for those sources that are cited by more individuals. And also for the timing, I have to consider if I want, like since 2020, or since 2017. Okay, so this is how I can do with my research here. Okay, I can refine it further and further. Okay, so this is one source that I can rely on, Google Scholar, to get the articles that I want. I can, for instance, as well find other alternatives. But here, if we click on the first article, which is a case study, a very relevant article. If I click on this, oh, it doesn't work. Okay, I'll pick up another article. Okay, pick up socialization impact, social media use. Okay, social media and youth violence in Nigeria. Let me go on to this one. Okay. Okay. So here in this article, as you notice, this is the abstract. Okay, I read the abstract first. Okay, and I check if this abstract is relevant. If it is relevant, then I can download this article. Okay, I can download this article. But as you notice here on Google Scholar, like for most of the articles I have to pay, but if I find a good article that I want to use and it is here, I cannot access it here because I have to pay for it. I can simply take the title and search into my library catalog. I have, for instance, here I am a student at Curtin University, and simply what I can do, simply paste the title here, and maybe I would find the article, because as a student in any university around the world, your university would give you free access to many databases like EBSCOhost database, lots of other databases. For instance, this is the article here. So I can simply take it, okay, and download it and use it, okay? So this is actually the first step in conducting my research. Okay, what I can do here, one important thing here, I can simply endnote it if I want to go into cataloging my findings or my articles. So simply endnote, download. Here I download it and simply I save it into any file that I would like to save it into, and simply here I can open it. Okay, open with, as you notice here, with EndNote. Okay, I'm opening that with EndNote here. Okay, all references. I have now 2 references, and this is one software, like as I told you, EndNote, Zotero, and many other platforms or libraries you can use to catalog your articles, to document them, to log, create logs for them. Okay, as you notice here, as you notice in EndNote, we have the author, the year, the title, the journal, and if you click on one, you will be able to read the abstract. You will see the source here, okay, or the citation of the source. So, and then you can, as you load in your articles in EndNote, you will be able to create groups, as you notice, create groups and categorize them the way you find best for your use. Okay, so this is actually the second step in doing my literature review. Okay, the third step would be the structuring of literature review. Okay, let's see how we structure our literature review here. Super. So now I did the research step, I did the categorization and organization step, and let's move now to step number 3 in the process of creating a perfect literature review, the structuring step. Okay, in the structuring step, I just simply look at my articles. I have picked, just for simplicity, 3 articles here. This is one, okay, this article, and this is another, this is a prior master thesis. Okay, simply I can look at the abstract of this master thesis, and also this is an article as well. Okay, so simply here in the structuring step, I can create some outlines, some sections, some subsections. I check for the themes, the chronological form of those articles, the methodology, the theories in these articles. So simply, I go, for instance, look at this article. Okay, I have the abstract here. Okay, this is the abstract, and all right, here, okay, media is the message, has never been more relevant than in the age, etc. The social influence by peer group and access to information. So in this, we find like a theme of positivity. So simply what I can do here, I can start some sort of writing on the side, like I simply take those, I can take the reference here, and later on I can do the citation for the reference. I can here do some writing, for instance, media is the message. I can take this quote, and okay, I can take this quote here. Okay, and social influence by peer access. Okay, so media is a social media access to information would provide teenagers with access to information, etc. So here we have some sort of a positivity theme, positivity theme in this article. Okay, I jump on another article here, for instance, on this one, social media is rapidly growing. Okay, and let me see here. Social media rapidly growing, purpose was positive, negative. Okay, bullying and sleep fear. We can have serious negative impacts. Okay, so in this one here, in this article mainly talks about, I can also take the source. Okay, take the source here. Okay, simply take the source and just paste it here until later on I can cite it. And in this, we have like, as you noticed in this part here, social media may have negative, serious negative impacts, okay, as well as positive. So social media can have serious negative impacts on teenagers despite the positive effects. Okay, so this is another kind of like theme, including positivity and negativity on the same time. I can go to another article here, okay, by Samir Kumar, etc. I take the source as well. Okay, I take the source and put it right here, and then I can write, let me see the abstract here. Okay, in this abstract I can notice, okay, social media enables individuals to connect and its power to be judged by recent, okay, by studying. This article may not be very relevant. Okay, although the impact of social media on teenager is enormous, we argue here that digital life is less likely to take over a teenager service, such as women would remain naturally ahead. Okay, here, like we can look at gender issue in this article. Okay, we can look at gender issue in this article. So gender theme. Okay, gender issue. The social media may have a different influence on females in comparison with males. Okay, with males. So simply here, if I want to create some sort of an outline, let me remove this one. Okay, if I want to create some sort of an outline, maybe, okay, I can maybe here kind of like, let me create some sort of outline, insert shapes and smart art, maybe as some sort of an outline hierarchy. All right, I can maybe use this to create some sort of an outline here. maybe here the topic I have. Now I have a positive. I can remove this part here. Okay, I can remove this part now. Okay, so I can have a positive impact, positive, a positive impact, a negative impact. Uh, Here, gender differences. Okay, so I created some sort of an outline, a small outline. So, and down the road, as you progress with your literature review, you will be able to create many more themes, many more subtopics until you come to the writing stage where you start synthesizing and organizing and kind of like connecting and establishing flow by connecting paragraphs together to discuss your topic of your research and criticize the information that you got, shed light on the gaps that you find, and then come up with great conclusions. Okay, so that's it for step number 3, and let's now move to step number 4. This is the writing step. Please stay tuned. And boom, this is my final stage, writing my literature review. At this stage, I'm just putting the ideas all together to come up with a great literature review that is well written, considering all the references that I have found and searched for. Please stay. Okay, and in the final stage, we write. Okay, so we do our annotated bibliography and we start writing our literature. Let me just write a paragraph to give you an example, okay? So simply, I will, all right, take this article first, okay, and start writing. In this article, we have, okay, we have talked about the positivity in theme, okay? So simply, okay, I can say, let me write Vasanth and Swami, okay, and this is the source goes back till 2013, okay, 2013, okay, suggested, okay, 2013, stated that social media has a direct positive influence on teenagers, okay? More specifically, the authors or the authors, all right, to communicate, okay, okay, state or, all right, the authors suggest that social media improves communication among groups, okay, groups enhances social dynamics and reduces social inhibitions, okay? Okay, so this is like one idea that we can, for instance, retrieve from this article, but as we go deeper, okay, we may even write more, considering, for instance, more content, okay? Check their social network sites, including etc. This appears to be an addictive effect, all right? Rather, authors advised that social media may have an addictive effect on teenagers. Now, this is for one article, okay? I have to look at the other articles, for instance, at this dissertation or maybe this article here, okay? In this article, okay, social media is an assembly. I found that studying is judged by the Arab word. I found that the growth of disruptive technology creating thinking shifts. All right. Maybe in another context, okay, in another context, I would say here, Kumar and John, okay, and John, and this is 2000, okay, the 2012, and John, okay, and John, 2012, okay, suggested or stated that social media would have negative or would lead, okay, may cause thinking shifts for teenagers, okay. And then we can move to the third article. I'm going brief as much as possible, but giving you an idea on how you can, under one theme and one structure, start writing your literature review. Okay, here I can go to the third, here it's a dissertation here. And in this dissertation, if I go to the abstract, I can see positive, okay. In the same context, I can say in the same context, this author is Kennedy 2019, okay. Kennedy 2019, okay. Reported both negative as well as positive impacts for social media on teenagers. Now, this is what the literature is showing me or is telling me. However, yet, I'm just trying to show a gap here. Yet, the literature is not clear in regards to the impact of social media on the school, let's say school performance of teenagers, and how social media platforms vis-a-vis Facebook, Twitter, for instance, Instagram, may differ in this context. So in this, as you notice here, I have shown what one author is stating, okay, and what another is saying, all right, in the same context, okay, and what a third is reporting as well. And also I have shown a clear gap in the literature, okay? That's a gap, all right? So your study maybe here would focus on this gap, or you would just kind of like reshape maybe, or just to pinpoint this gap that you are trying to study, because at the end we want to be original, we want to provide something new. It wouldn't be really good if I end up just studying what this guy has studied or what this guy has studied. No, I have to be original in order to have a strong literature review, in order to have a successful dissertation or thesis at the end. All right, thank you very much. And now we come to the end of this video on how to create a great literature review. One important thing you have to keep in mind. Once you do your research in academic databases or on Google Scholar or any other where, you may use Google for PDF sources, etc. You have to be careful and pick up those articles or resources that are peer-reviewed and scholarly. Because internet, as you know, most of which may be junk information, okay? And you may end up with articles that are published in low-ranking journals, okay? Or some articles are, or journals that are just scams. So you have to be careful and pick up the sources that come from peer-reviewed and scholarly journals or well-known accredited universities around the world. Otherwise, you may end up wasting your time with just junk resources and information that wouldn't be reliable and that will make your literature review or dissertation or thesis just unreliable. Okay? So this is a very important thing to consider. One other important thing to consider is perfection. Do not seek perfection, okay? Because while conducting a huge literature review, seeking perfection would be just like seeking an impossible goal, okay? So do not seek perfection, okay? In this video, I have presented what a literature review is and the principles behind the literature review and how to conduct a literature review using 4-step: search, organize, structure, and write. Okay. Dr. Ayub, your mentor for a dissertation and a thesis or writing a literature review. If you need any mentoring or any help in this context, just contact me on WhatsApp or send me an email. You like this video? Please click on the subscription button below and give me the thumb up, activate the bell icon. Smart Research and Data Analytics. We mentor you and help you have smarter research skills and better data analytics.